Good morning. In 1 Samuel 17, the king and his armies flee at the intimidating presence and words of the giant of a man. They cower in fear, wondering who among them, if anyone, would be willing to go and face the giant and fight him. And who would have imagined that a young shepherd boy, arriving on the scene to bring food to his older brothers, would hear the giant's taunts and have a very different response? David reveals it when he states in verse 26, "And David said to the men who stood by him, 'What shall be done for the man who kills this Philistine and takes away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living God?'" So he doesn't see the giant as invincible. He views the giant's words as they are, a reproach upon Israel. He's appalled that the enemy should defy God and his armies. His perspective and words are so different from those consumed with faithless fears that others begin to talk about him. It's a witness, if you will, a good witness, that sparks hope in the hearts of those who hear. And the word finally makes its way to the king. When the words that David spoke were heard, they repeated them before Saul, and he sent for him. He wants to hear it for himself. Now, imagine his surprise when the fearless man turns out to be a young teen, not even old enough to be in Saul's army. The interaction that follows is a questioning of David's perspective. And while the king declares that David is not equipped to face and fight the giant, David insists that he is. Why? Well, because he has seen the power of God at work. He has seen how God has protected him and his father's sheep. He truly believes that God could and would give him a victory should he be allowed to fight the giant. Listen to more of his faith-filled words in verse 32. "And David said to Saul, 'Let no man's heart fail because of him. Your servant will go and fight with this Philistine.'" Now, imagine the king looking at this young boy. He's going to challenge his faith, well, just as our faith is often challenged. And Saul said to David, "You are not able to go against the Philistine to fight with him, for you are but a youth, and he's been a man of war from his youth. You're young and naive. He's a veteran man of war, skilled and experienced. Logically, you won't win." But David said to Saul, "Your servant used to keep sheep for his father, and when there came a lion or a bear and took a lamb from the flock, I went after him and struck him and delivered it out of his mouth. And if he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and struck him and killed him." I suspect the king looked at him with understandable suspicion, which is why David responded, "Your servant has struck down both lions and bears, for this uncircumcised Philistine shall be like one of them, for he has defied the armies of the living God." Now again, notice his words. His motive, it's not self-serving. Rather, he's angered that the giant has defied God and his armies. And he has full confidence that God would grant him victory over the giant. And David said, "The Lord, who delivered me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear, will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine." Well, evidently that strikes a chord in Saul, for the king decides to place the fate of the nation in the hands of this young man. And notice the faith that David inspires in Saul in verse 37. "And Saul said to David, 'Go, and the Lord be with you.'" Now, Saul didn't even believe in the Lord as his God, and yet even he is inspired to send him to fight. Oh, the witness that our faithful lives and words can be as others see us and hear us as we speak of our trust in the Lord. Do you speak faith? Do others hear you express your sincere and confident trust in the Lord your God for whatever challenges or battles you may face? Today, let's pray about that, the increasing and intensifying of our faith in our God, and a boldness in speaking forth that trust in Him. Let's pray. Well, Lord, forgive us for our faithless hearts and words. Today, may the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable and pleasing in your sight. Now you continue. God bless you.
Thank you for listening to Mornings with Pastor Jim. This podcast is a ministry of Family Church PC. For more information or to contact us, go to familychurchpc.com. Have a blessed day.